So I figured it's about time we talked about our plans for the shack at this new house. One of my biggest regrets from last shack was not recording the process of building it. I did take a few sort of progress photos and stuff, and eventually I put an article together on my website, but it never quite struck as well as a video would have done. So one episode there was nothing, I was shooting against a fence, kind of similar to this, and in the next episode there was a shack. So this time during the shack build I want to share my plans, I want to share the actual building process of it, and then we'll kind of do a final shack tour to crown it all off. I had to get and get coffee. It is super sunny today, but it's freezing, which we will get to as part of the shack plans as well. So first of all, I should give you a kind of rough layout of where the shack is going, what I'm working with here, some of the restrictions of it, and then we can talk roughly a little bit about what my plans are. So I've taken you off the tripod just to give you a rough idea of what we're working with. You have to forgive the exposure. With some parts of the garden are really full sun and other parts that are full shade, so I'll try and adjust it as best I can. We have this large paving area. I say large, it's not massive, but initially when we moved into the house it was only a little square sort of here, kind of come up to maybe about here, and then this was all grass. So we have already kind of extended this out a little bit just to give us enough space for the barbecues. Now in the first comments from the first video back, I did see comments about this bank. So this is a rather large bank, affectionately known as Slemish. We have now decided to call it Slemish. Anyone from Northern Ireland, that'll make complete sense. Anybody else won't have a clue what we're talking about. But some of the comments had said about digging this out and pushing the shack further back in the garden. So I'll try and overlay some photos, but as I said, we done this paving. Overall, we dug, just digging out, maybe from say where the Weber kettle's sitting there to the top of the garden, and I think this is maybe 3-4 meters across, 3 meters maybe. Just digging that out, we dug out 7 ton of soil, and as you can see from the overlaid pictures, our garden is up a set of steps. There's no access on any sides. We're fenced in this side, we're fenced in on this side. There's no access for any heavy machinery, so everything had to go down those steps. Everything else then had to be carried up. So in total I think there was 6 ton of stone and sand needed carried up, and then the paving all carried up. We also chose to do this on the hottest week of the year last year, so I don't know why we picked that week to do it, but that's the way it was. So shack will be going here. As you can see from this, we've already sort of pre-thought ahead. I've run the power up underneath the paving, so it sort of kind of comes up here in the corner and just runs up the fence. That will then allow us to run our mains power up, but I just want to give you an idea. So this is where the shack will go. We'll have a nice patio area out the front of it if we ever are entertaining. I do have plans for this bank, so it won't just be left the way it is. But there is no way I'm digging this thing out, because it is 100% manual labour, and to even dig this back 2 to 3 feet will be days worth of work. But we have an area of grass over here, and it's not very good grass to say the least, so we might end up doing something in this area. We'll talk about that at another point. Let's get this side sorted first. Okay, so now you have a rough idea of what kind of space I'm working with. Let's talk over construction. So we're going to go, need my coffee back in for this one. We're going to go with a similar design to what we had the last time. So it's going to be that kind of bus shelter construction. It'll be closed in on 2 sides, so right across the back, right across one side of it, and then it'll be open in the front on one side. Again, maybe allowing for something else to happen in this area at a later stage. It'll be a timber construction. I'm going to move away from the pallet board. So last time, one of the key points of the shack was the pallet wood. It's a lot of wood. I know you can buy it. Many people have said to buy it, but I just begrudge buying scrap wood, and I'm not interested in doing the work again. So I think I'm actually going to go for an OSB board construction, so painted OSB. It'll be a slightly different look, but I still think it'll be pretty cool, and the idea I have in my head, I think I can make it work. So we'll be going OSB board construction and then a timber frame. That brings us onto the roof. As you know, I didn't like the polycarbonate roof from our last shack, and I said I would never do it again, but now I've come to building another shack. I'm like, I don't know what the better solution is, because I do like the light a polycarbonate roof lets through, but the noise in the rain is a bit of a pain. But I don't tend to shoot videos whenever it is raining, I tend to just call it off and put it off for another day. So I don't know, what are your thoughts? If you've used anything else for a roof that's worked? So at the minute I'm toyed between polycarbonate or like a standard timber felt construction, but I just worry about it being really dark. So that's point number one. I want your thoughts on. Comment below if you've done either and what the benefits are, what you think is worth doing, or if there's something else I'm not considering. Not tin, I don't want to do a tin roof. Yeah, if there's something else I'm not considering, I want to know. That's what this video is about. Oh, it's gone dark again, the joys of shooting in the sun. So if you've seen my video for like tips on planning a barbecue shack, you know I broke it down into needs and wants. So there's certain things you need in a barbecue shack, certain things you want in a barbecue shack. Everybody will argue what's a need and what's a want, but the current needs for this new one are based on what I've learned from the old one. I want more lighting in it. So I only had like 2 or 3 little spotlights in the roof, and at night time it really wasn't bright enough. There's no lights over the work surface. They were really just kind of mood lighting so I could see what I was doing, but by no way were they functional. So better lighting in this one if I am working at night. Then more power. I had one double socket in the old shack, and it was a smaller shack, so that might have been fine. We always made it work, but I kind of want to put at least a couple of sockets on the back wall, and then probably power in the roof too. That might sound silly, but for shooting videos and stuff, sometimes you do need power in the roof. And there goes the sun again. The other thing is space. So obviously this is going to be a bigger shack. I want to make it slightly deeper as well, just to give me more space to work in. So those are the main things I need. So we have our cover to cook in all weathers. We have power and lighting need to be improved in this one. And then we have space. So to make sure I have more space, I could probably have 2 to 3 barbecues in there. The last shack was 1 barbecue only. So if I could get those things done, I'd probably be pretty happy. Then on to the wants. If you go back through my back catalogue of videos, you'll often find me wearing hats and 2 to 3 layers to cook in. Heating is one thing I would like to look at. Now, I would love to put in, probably, if I had to rank them in order of preference, one would be like a wood burning stove and then flue it out the roof. The next thing would be some kind of open fire, so I don't know if that goes like a braai or some kind of fireplace. My least preferable option would be electric. I don't know why I go electric. 9 times out of 10 they do give off a warm glow. I know you can get radiant ones that don't, but I like the idea of having a fire or something that I can go out, if I'm cooking for a day, shooting a couple of videos, I can go out, light the fire, and it'll be nice and comfortable to work in. So heating's a want, not necessarily a need. The other thing then, as far as actual cooking in it goes, is I would kind of like some kind of live fire setup. So I don't know if that means a braai, or I don't have a lot of space to put in a massive braai, but whether it's a braai or a parrilla grill, or if it's just a fire pit setup with a tripod over it. So I'm not sure. So that's the next thing I want your opinion on. Oh, this sun is doing my head in. What do you guys cook on live fire wise? Or if you've cooked on multiple different things, which do you prefer? The fire pit might have the added bonus of obviously once we've finished eating, we can fire up the fire pit and everybody sit around it. I've never tried enough of them, but I do want to try live fire cooking. So good old setting up a log fire, getting it going. So I want your advice on that one. If there's certain things you've cooked on before, tag me in the brands, and we'll go and have a look at them and see which ones I like best. The third want then is that I want to try and keep the shack as modular as possible. The back wall, I'm guessing, will have a built-in bench. It won't move anywhere, purely because I want to take the KJ off its stand and put it onto a bench to level it out. I told you in the last video, we're on a bit of a slope here, so if you're cooking with skillets, all the oil runs to the front of the barbecue, which is a pain. So the KJ is probably going to go onto a built-in stand so it can be nice and level. After that, I want everything on wheels so I can move it about. So that might be barbecues. I'm going to have a couple of different workbenches. As far as the benches go, I kind of want to give concrete worktops a go. Never done them before in my life. Watched a few videos. So again, tag me in any pictures you have of your concrete worktops. If they're an absolute nightmare to work with, or there's something I'm not considering, please let me know before I go ahead and waste all my time doing it in the shack. I just like the look of them and what I have in my head as far as a plan of how the shack's going to look. I think they would work quite well. So let me know if you've tried them before. So yeah, modular setup that I can move things about. I can pull different benches out or different barbecues in. I can clear the whole shack out if I want to. Like I say, maybe if we've got a stove in there, we can pull the furniture set closer end of the shack under a bit of cover, and everybody can sit around at night around the fire. So yeah, I've probably got more questions than answers at the minute as far as the shack goes, but that's why I wanted to do this video, just to get my thought process out, start getting some advice from you guys. And I do plan on starting this in the next 2-3 weeks maybe. So comments below, talk to me on Instagram, wherever platform you're on, you follow me on. I want to hear from you, I want your advice. We'll try and wind this down together. If there's certain stuff you want to see in the new shack, I want to hear about it, because if you guys want to see more pizza content, I need to look at whether to do a wood-fired oven or a pizza oven. This isn't all going to be done in the next 2 to 3 weeks. This could be over the next year. We start to put all this stuff in place. Like I say, stage 1 is getting the cover up, lighting and electric in. Stage 2 is probably getting all our benches and stuff in, and then stage 3 will be working on that wants list. So what I have planned for off to this side, we'll start doing it, and that's when we'll maybe enter just the live fire or the heating, or we'll see. Let's just get a bit of cover first. So I want to hear your feedback. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.